last of all 1440, in partnership with Diversifund. Good morning, it's Friday, July 31st, and we're covering grim economic numbers, a final goodbye to a civil rights icon, and more. Need to know. The Big Shrink. The U.S. economy shrunk by an estimated 9.5% between April and June, according to government data released yesterday. The second quarter figure equates to a seasonally adjusted annualized rate of about 33%, meaning nearly a third of the economy would be erased if the performance were extended for 12 months. Lovely. The plunge is the steepest on record, exceeding a 28% drop in 1921, though it still slightly beat analysts' predictions of more than 34%. The economy is expected to rebound in the third quarter with the actual full-year contraction target of 7%. So this is a wonderful, lovely example of how a country can completely destroy itself, or, almost completely destroy itself in a matter of months over nothing, over fear, over freak out, over a panic. History, I hope, remembers this as the stupidest time. And hopefully, history will tell that it got better and not any stupider. The numbers reflect an economy brought nearly to a standstill by the coronavirus panic beginning in late March. Consumer spending, which accounts for roughly 70% of GDP, fell a historic 12.6% in April. The lack of spending was reflected in savings rates, which rose a whopping 25%. In related news, first-time unemployment claims rose for the second straight week, clocking it in at just over 1.43 million. Analysts say the numbers, the 19th straight week above 1 million, are linked to many states having to pause or reverse reopenings, having to. No, they don't have to. Amid increasing coronavirus cases, continuing claims, a better proxy for current unemployment, rose to 17 million. And more people are dying from suicide and drug overdoses because of this shit that we made. That's more people than are dying from COVID. More people are dying from suicides than are dying from COVID, and more people are dying from drug overdoses than are dying from the COVID. A life celebrated. Is this like the third time they've written a long piece about this? Civil rights icon Representative John Lewis was laid to rest in Atlanta yesterday. He was a Democrat. How great could he have been when he fought for civil rights and yet still allowed himself to be kept in the trap of the Democrats? John Lewis was laid to rest in Atlanta yesterday during a private ceremony at the church once led by his former friend and colleague, Martin Luther King Jr. The service marked the end of a 6-day celebration that began in Alabama and included a stop in Washington, D.C. Among a long list of speakers, former Presidents Clinton and Bush gave remarks while former President Obama provided the eulogy, which was apparently quite political, as he does. As a college student, Lewis played a key role in a number of pivotal moments during the civil rights movement of the 1960s. See our previous write-up here, including being one of the Big Six that led the 1963 March on Washington. As a 16-term congressman, that's a long fucking time. There should be term limits. Lewis represented the Atlanta metro area, continuing his advocacy as chair of the House Ways and Means Oversight Subcommittee. See photos from yesterday's ceremony here. Lewis penned a final op-ed meant to be published posthumously on the day of his funeral. Read the piece here. Herman Cain dies. Former presidential candidate and food industry chief executive Herman Cain passed away yesterday after being hospitalized in early July with COVID-19 symptoms. Outside of his extensive business career, Cain was best known for his 999 tax plan during the 2012 election cycle. It is not known how Cain contracted the virus. Many noted he attended President Trump's June 20th rally in Tulsa without a face mask, among other travels. Okay. So you are alleging that he got it at a Trump rally? That's lovely. Very, very objective. Those face masks are, as stated by pretty much every agency, including the CDC, those face masks are not for the protection of the wearers. They're for the protection of everybody else, supposedly. In Washington, D.C., congressional leaders continue to struggle to reach agreement on a fourth coronavirus stimulus package. Why did they make this part of Herman Cain? They couldn't talk more about Herman Cain? They wrote all this about John Lewis. They couldn't talk more about Herman Cain? In Washington, D.C., congressional leaders continue to struggle to reach agreement on a fourth coronavirus stimulus package. A $600 per week boost to unemployment benefits is set to expire today. Okay, I guess that was today. Most received their final checks last week. Oh, okay, so it was... Okay. With Democrats rejecting a standalone extension at $200. Fuckers. $200. It's an extra $200. Early studies showed the $600 boost provided total benefits 30% above median pre-panic wages, though data haven't yet bore out that result. Florida, Arizona, and Texas, which led a boom in new infections since early July. Yeah, a lot of that came over the border from Mexico. Have reversed the trend in cases, with cases dropping 5 to 10% over the past week. Aha. However, daily deaths, which typically lag a surge in new cases, have risen in Florida and Texas to around 200 per day. See how your state is doing here. The U.S. has reported 4.5 million total cases, allegedly, as of this morning, with 152,055 alleged deaths. You can see the 3-day moving average here, and check out a compilation of forecasts out of September here. Build wealth for a fraction of the cost? Diversifund. Ever wondered how wealthy people build and grow their portfolios? Well, it probably isn't by putting everything they have in the stock market, too risky, or into a savings account, too safe. They do it by diversifying their portfolio into alternative assets, like real estate. The 1% have been utilizing real estate as a wealth-building tool for centuries, and Diversifund has now made this asset class available to the everyday investor through their innovative platform. Diversifund provides opportunities for the everyday, non-accredited investor to access high-value private real estate investing through its non-traded REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust. With a minimum initial investment of just $500, you can start building wealth for your family's future. Diversifund's Growth REIT, Real Estate Investment Trust, strategy focuses on multifamily, cash-flowing properties, which is a non-correlated asset class to the stock market. This allows you to have a mechanism to help keep your assets secured during a downturn. Sign up and start building wealth today. Please support our sponsors. In the know. Sports, entertainment, and culture. NHL returns tomorrow as the league moves directly to the postseason with a 24-team tournament. Here's how the tournament will work. Dolly Parton and Lil Nas X among winners at 31st Annual GLAAD Media Awards. See list of winners honoring LGBTQ inclusion in entertainment. Beyoncé's Black is King visual album out today on Disney+. It has something to do with The Lion King, I believe. But, that's, kind of a black supremacist sounding name. Oh, but that's not a thing, is it? There's only white supremacy. There's nobody out there who believes that having more melanin makes you better. Is there, Nick Cannon? LeBron James among players and coaches who knelt during national anthem on first night of NBA restart. Why does it start with... Obviously, LeBron James is going to be... Commissioner Adam Silver won't enforce rule barring players from kneeling. So there's a rule. There's actually an NBA rule that says you can't kneel during the national anthem, and they're just not enforcing it? Beautiful. Really. Science and technology. NASA's Perseverance rover successfully launches, will reach Mars in mid-February 2021. Mission will search for signs of ancient life in a dried lakebed. Flexible circuits that can be drawn on the skin with a pen-like device offer a breakthrough for wearable electronics and biosensors. Scientists uncover how stem cells trigger the growth of new skin cells when stretched. Roughly 1 in 3 children have lead in their bloodstreams at concentrations high enough to impair neurological development, new study estimates. But we're more worried about COVID, right? Business and markets, S&P 500 down 0.4%, and Dow down 0.9%, both down on unemployment and gross domestic product figures, while NASDAQ, up 0.4%, climbs on strong tech earnings. Earnings season. Amazon revenues rise 40% as e-commerce balloons amid panic. Sees largest quarterly profit in history. Shares up 5%. Alphabet, Google, sees quarterly revenue decline for first time as public company, driven by drop in advertising revenue. Shares flat. Good. Google should lose money. Apple blows past earnings expectations as consumers flock to products during panic. Shares up 6%. Ah, the cult of Apple. Facebook sees slowing Q2 growth as brands throttled spending in April, but beats revenue expectations. Shares up 6%. Consumer product goods giant Procter & Gamble sees strongest sales gain since 2006. Wow. Shares up 2%. Casino operator MGM sees 91% decline in quarterly revenues. Well, that was to be expected. Politics and world affairs. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau defends himself in front of Parliament over accusations that he helped steer a $400 million coronavirus grant toward a charity group with ties to his family. Ah, this man. D.C. Court of Appeals vacates earlier decision allowing the federal government to withdraw its prosecution of Michael Flynn. Case will now be heard by the full panel of 10 appellate judges. Republicans reject suggestion by President Trump to delay November elections over mail-in ballot concerns. Valid. Very valid mail-in ballot concerns. There's evidence from all of the mail-in voting that's been happening over the summer. But he's just wrong. Blistering heat wave hits the Middle East, with Baghdad reporting temperatures above 120 degrees for the 4th straight day. Damn. Love data visualizations like us? Check out our friends at Charter. They take some of the biggest news stories each week and create beautiful data visualizations around them. The result? Big insights in 5 minutes or less. More than 60,000 people are getting visual, data-driven insights into business, technology, entertainment, and politics. Join them for free here. In depth. Pluto's dark side. Nature. NASA's New Horizons space probe is still sending back images from when it zipped by the far side of Pluto in 2015, revealing spectacular, never-before-seen images, including hints of a hidden ocean. A day one mentality. From congressional testimony. Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos' congressional testimony. Though it came in during a congressional antitrust hearing, Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos' opening statement offered a compelling personal look at one of the world's most powerful people. Tic-tac-toe the hard way. From Pear Podcast. A fascinating and super accessible look at how human choices shape machine learning systems. Murder, Inc. History Extra. A look at the rise and fall of a notorious group of mafia contract killers in 1930s New York City. Neat. Avoid real estate FOMO. Diversifund's REIT is filling up fast. Act now while there's still room for new investors. You don't want to miss out on this opportunity to become a real estate investor and a co-owner of a portfolio of cash-flowing apartment buildings across the nation. The sooner you invest, the sooner you can start reaping the benefits of building compounding wealth. Invest with Diversifund today and grow your net worth like the 1%. Please support our sponsors. Etc. Best of July 2020. Editor's note. More than 1 million monthly clicks can't be wrong. Here are the most popular stories we ran in July. Enjoy! Excuse me. Welcome to the uncomfortably intriguing world of seductive radishes with photos. Well, there would certainly have to be photos. Here's how your phone spies on you. Google and Apple. Ranking the 100 best hospitals in the country. China is randomly mailing unknown seeds to American citizens. Science solves the fascinating mystery of goosebumps. These cities have the world's worst traffic. The oldest bar in all 50 states. The Far Side returns after a 25-year hiatus. I clicked on that. Man paints himself, painting himself, drawing himself, painting himself. An epic shot of the Statue of Liberty during a storm. What Microsoft found when it analyzed its newly remote workforce. Winners of the 2020 iPhone Photography Awards. Dr. Anthony Fauci flattens a curveball straight into the ground. It wasn't straight, though. It was way off to the side. Clickbait. Please watch this dog apologize to his buddy. History book. 17th U.S. President Andrew Johnson dies, 1875. Happy birthday, entrepreneur Mark Cuban, 1958. Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, born, 1965. Start. Signed. Start one? Startle? Start I? Signed by U.S. and Soviet Union to begin nuclear arms reduction, 1991. Fidel Castro relinquishes power to brother Raul after more than 47 years, 2006. Work like there is someone working 24 hours a day to take it all away from you, Mark Cuban. Well, that's inspiring. About that epic shot of the Statue of Liberty during a storm. We really don't deserve to have the Statue of Liberty right now. Liberty is being taken. I feel a lot less liberty. Just saying. The country wants to give up liberty for illusions of safety. The Founding Fathers would be so ashamed. That's all for Sundry News. Thank you and goodbye.